Ah, yes, hello, dears. This is the Ninth Dimensional Pleiadian Collective, and it is a pleasure and an honor to have the opportunity to connect with you. So we are very excited. It is a very full house, and by that we mean all of you have brought many celestial friends and guides along with you. So many opinions to be shared here, and we'll be taking point. So if there are things that you will absolutely need to know, we will make sure we weave it into our conversation, whether you're asking a question or not. So, it is truly an honor and a pleasure because we are learning so much from you right now. And for many of you, that may seem very difficult for you to even fathom or to imagine because you are thinking, we're struggling down here. It doesn't feel so great. How in the world could higher dimensional beings learn from me when I'm going through such a rough time? But really, your process, your willingness to be brave and to explore and to have the courage to look at things that aren't necessarily comfortable, the amount of compassion that you are extending to yourself and to others is quite remarkable. And so we learn a tremendous amount by observing you, by observing your experiences. So we want to start our session today by saying thank you. Thank you for all that you are giving and all that you are sharing. We know at times it seems very, very difficult on this planet for you to be able to function, to make it through your days, but yet you have the courage to do so, and it is such a gift that you share. And we want to acknowledge you for the light that you are, for the beautiful beings that you are, even in the times when you cannot see it within yourself. So we want to be the mirror here, standing before you, reflecting that back to you, to remind you of how amazingly beautiful and creative and inspirational and loving and kind and generous that you all are. So let us dive in. So Brian, where would you like to begin today?
So several people have questions regarding 2016, and Suzanne has summarized it here in her question. Could the piece give an outline of the energies of 2016? Some say that 2016 will be a point of change for our civilization, even a point of separation.
We would not say separation. We will say change. So from our perspective, 2016 is a year of tremendous change. And, we're not certain what you're going to do collectively to create change, but right now we just want to talk at a personal level. Personally, you all are going to be afforded many, many opportunities for change, and that does not feel terribly comfortable for most of you because you've got fears about what happens after I change. Who is going to be standing beside me? Who am I going to become? Am I going to like the change? Is the change going to be comfortable? So there's a lot of fear and worry. And even when you're getting things that you're excited about, you may also find that the pace of receiving that change can feel a bit challenging because you're asked to stretch. All right, you're being pushed outside of your comfort zone. Yes, this is what I wanted, but there's a fear, can I handle it? Am I enough? And so those fears start to come up to be processed. So 2016, it holds a lot of energy to be transformed and shifted. One of the big things that will help all of you through 2016 is integrating more of the feminine energy. You've got to acknowledge the power of the divine feminine, because without it, you are going to remain out of balance. You're going to try to do, and the only thing that you think has value are the things that you do, as opposed to you being open and receptive to receive energy. You'll receive hits of intuition and inner guidance that actually will allow you to get to your destination faster because they're in a divine alignment, as opposed to you just working with strictly masculine energy, which for most of you is using the mental egoic energy as well, where you are trying to figure it out, and sometimes that's not the most accelerated path because it's not in divine alignment. It's where the ego thinks you need to go. So you've got to master working with feminine energy. You're going to continue to create a lot of physical ailments for yourselves, especially those of you who are healers, if you are not integrating the divine feminine energy. You have got to restore the balance in your bodies, because especially for those of you who are healers, there is a huge amount of energy output There's a lot of energy going out and not as much coming in. So you may find that you're not able to do the work that you once did in the quantities that you did it. The quality of what you will do will be much higher. Your abilities will be much stronger. But until you find this inner balance and being able to restore your own self, you're not going to be able to have that same level of output. You're going to find that you're re-qualifying that. For many of you, we've talked about this before, you are really activating your post-shift blueprint, as it were. At the end of 2012, you completed, for the most part, your pre-shift blueprint, where there were certain things that you wanted to experience from that level of consciousness. And as you move into a higher level of consciousness, it's a different setup. There are different things that you want to experience, and so you had for yourselves almost a secondary blueprint. And 2013, 2014, even 2015, you were moving out of that, and really in 2016, you're starting to get that going. So many of you may find that you're going to change your life path. You're going to change relationships. You're going to change your job. If you have a job that you like, you might find that what you do within that job changes. So lots of shifts at that level. Now, it's going to be an interesting summer. We're not quite certain how you all are going to structure this for yourselves. There's still a lot of energy that's coming up around control and authority. And for you, you're going to have an opportunity to really step into your authority, into using your voice, allowing yourselves to express through that fifth chakra. So speaking your truth and also externally producing, as it were, expressing all that creative energy. There's the potential for a lot more creative expression as you move into 2016 when you get to the summer. But in order to do that, you're going to have to let go of your fear of authority and oppression and some of the control mechanisms that are going on, and just really stand in your truth. As we mentioned to you last year, there's a lot of Orion energy that's coming in to be healed, and in fact, we're going to do a language of light activation here for you in just a moment to help you with that. But this energy will continue to resurface. Where are you trying to clamp down and control? Where are you not being your own authority? Where are you looking for other people to give you the answer instead of going inside and getting the best one that you have? You have the best information for yourself, better than what we've got for you, all right, but you're not trusting in it, so you have to go in to get that. There is more truth, more revelations, more light being shown on some of the untruths, some of the lies that are being told, some of the manipulation that's going on. When you start embodying yourself, your power as a divine being, as you start becoming your own authority, you take that energy away from those who have been holding that false sense of authority for you. So you're taking away their power, which means you're shining light on some of the behavior that isn't quite so attractive, that you don't really want to be supporting anymore or feeding into because you've been giving your energy because you thought those were the figures that were in control. So when you get to summertime here, more of that's going to come to the surface. And this is in many, many areas. This is in your political arena. This is in your financial arena. This is in your spiritual communities. All right? That you may also find that you're pulling back your energy from looking for somebody else to be your spiritual guide and you listening to your own inner voice. So some of these things are really going to be shifting for you. A lot of the control mechanisms are teetering on the verge of collapse, but that requires you trusting in the divine flow. When you aren't playing that out at the personal level, the need for control in your own life, then collectively you are not creating situations and scenarios where you need beings who are controlling the reality for the masses. The collective consciousness is choosing to create that. And when you take that energy back at the personal level, then that's not going into the collective energy anymore. And so the collective energy can't reflect that anymore. So this is how you change the external world, by changing your own internal dynamics. When you get to the end of the year, And again, we try not to focus on too much on the predictions because there is so much shifting going on. But we would say there's a large window between 2016 and 2017 for more ET disclosure. And this is such an important thing because it is a game changer. And that's why the lid has been kind of put on this for so long. And when we talk about disclosure, we're talking about it happening at a higher level, and specifically around the United States, because many other governments have come out and they have talked about it. They've released some of their own governmental papers, but really a lot of that's being controlled by the United States because the United States experiments and interaction with some of the ET races has been very much at the fore. They're doing a lot of the experiments with some of the ETs. So when that disclosure happens, it has a ripple effect. It changes the balance of power. It changes your perception of yourselves intrinsically, and also how you're operating, how you're interacting with the planet, how you're interacting with her resources, free energy. It changes everything. So that's coming. We're just not sure when you all are going to be ready to accept it, when you're going to be ready to shift some of that energy. But really between now and 2017, that energy is certainly present. We're just not sure of when you all are going to step into it. Doesn't mean at the personal level you can't have that interaction and connection. For most of you, you have to work on safety. You have to work on the grounding element in order to feel safe in your body, so that you learn to trust in your own discernment before you open up to that interdimensional communication. It's just how it is. And we're not going to interfere, those beings of light. We don't want to interfere and disrupt you or generate more fear for you because that doesn't really serve you. So we hope that helps answer the question. Those are just some of the energies, but change, we would say, is the biggest one.